Oi, oi, guys, it's Friday morning. Up and out, I'm out here doing it. Weekend is a-coming, and I hope everybody's going to be having a good weekend. I hope you're in that PMA and doing the PPA, the positive progressive actions that help out that PMA, that positive mental attitude. Bloody hot. I know that. Look at the old sun is out there shining brightly, right? But hey, at least we have the sun. But today, I wanted to talk about something I think we could all do with listening to a little bit. Oh, by the way, come out and see me on Sunday morning. 11 a.m, I do a live every Sunday morning. We do some breath work or meditation, and we go into a bit of a chat afterwards. And it's enjoyable, there's a community growing there, it's a lot of fun. And we bring kind of light to certain subjects at times, but we also have fun doing it. And I wanted to talk about something this morning, like I said, that I think we could all do with. And that's surrendering to an argument. You know, we all want to win those arguments, right? But why do we get into the argument in the first place? What is it about an argument? I mean, first of all, the energy's no good to it, right? It's well negative. It's not pulling you in a positive direction, an argument. It's pulling you in a negative direction. And it's pulling you in a negative direction in a number of different ways. One, whoever you're arguing with, the closer they are to you, we seem to get more and more irate with an argument. Some of that is down to knowing that person well, and then knowing what nerves to hit, what buttons to press, because we do know them that well. So the first thing is, you're going to be hurting someone pretty good at some point in that argument. The other point is, what is it doing to your ego, right? Because really, if you think about it, there's normally something involved, right? It's hurting somewhere. It's not necessarily the thing that you're actually arguing about in front of you. That could be the trigger to something. And what gets in the way? That bloody ego, right? Ego comes up, and the win, I've got a win, comes in. Hang on, passing through a few noisy equipments here. But the ego comes in. And then we say we've got to win, we want to win. And what does that do? Just heightens the problem. It makes it even more volatile. Because the ego wants to be protected. So now we're going to push. And now we're really going to argue. What else is involved in this? What kind of areas is it touching for you? Those nerves I talked about that it's hitting. You know, it might be hitting some nerves, but what kind of nerves are they? Where do they lead? Is it childhood stuff that's hurting? Who knows, right? You don't know unless you pause on the argument and start thinking about what you're arguing about. Oh, hold up. Good morning. So what is it that's really touching? Because that ego and that anger, I always say, somebody's angry. I know with myself, it's covering something. So when we get into an argument with somebody, whatever those areas are of trauma, or things that we're trying to deal with, or didn't deal with, I should say, when we were younger, like maybe made to feel small, or irrelevant, or it don't matter what you say, not heard. Whoa, that was loud. If you're not heard, things like that, and then all of a sudden, in that argument, that touches a nerve, which goes back to those times. So now you're stirring that up too. And once that gets stirred up, Now it's hard to really see, right? Now we get into those areas where now we're trying to, I don't know, defend that. Because that starts to hurt. And those things that are stuck in our subconscious mind like that are going to come forward, and they're also going to be ammunition within that argument. So what's the better thing to do, and how do you do it? I know I say surrender, but it ain't a war. This is normally somebody that we love and care about. Yeah, we get into arguments with people outside, but even then, why are we doing that? What are we trying to prove? We're trying to be a big person? Where does it lead to, that argument? Especially if it's with a stranger outside. What can happen if we don't back down and we start wanting to get bigger and bigger and bigger and louder and louder and louder? Then it can start into real trouble. So when now you might be going at each other. Now you end up in jail. Is that worth it? What if you've got family? Yeah? What if you have family, kids, etc., and now you're in jail because it started out as an argument, and all those things I spoke about, we go into protecting. It's not an easy thing to surrender to an argument. But the one thing I will ask you to do is to pause when you start to feel that anger starting to build. Because if you can't discuss in a quiet, calm manner, and that anger starts to come up, then there's a problem straight away. You may not be able to control the other person. You ain't going to be able to tap into their emotions and control that. Because that's one of the things you're trying to do in an argument. You're trying to stir up their emotion because you want them to hurt. But you want them to hurt because your subconscious is hurting. So what do we do? Let me tell you now, that pause when you feel your anger coming up is a good indicator to be able to turn and walk away. Well, my two girls, when they were younger, and I used to argue a lot, siblings, right? And I used to come out sometimes and stand there, and I used to say, who's going to be the bigger person here? And it used to quieten the argument down, because that's what it takes. It takes you to look at yourself. You can only control you. And when you can control you, you can get on top of that argument and you can turn the other cheek and walk away. And when you do that, you're going to be the bigger person for it. Not only are you going to be the bigger person for that, and you're going to look the calmer one because you are, but it's also going to show towards the other person. I remember having an argument with my wife once, and there was a little trick that I kind of took on. And I took the trick on right there and then as it was happening. Because what I did was, I just turned it into sound. Because that's all words are, is sound. And I looked at my wife, and all of a sudden she turned into an orchestra. The volume, the pitch, the loudness. Good morning. Morning. And I just stood there watching, and I wasn't cluing into the words because I was just listening to sound. And then I started laughing. And my wife stops and angrily says, "The heck are you laughing at?" And I says, "Well, this is what I'm hearing." And I start explaining it to her and what I'm seeing and noticing the expressions on the face and the arms going away, but taking the words out of it, not connecting. Telling yourself, hey, that's not aimed at me, it don't bother me. Because when you're confident in yourself, the words ain't gonna hurt. When you can handle something from a past and you work on that in your subconscious mind, and that's only about tuning in and seeing it, because we don't when we're going into those arguments. All we want to do is win, like I said, because we ain't seeing that subconscious part. But when you pause, breathe, get clued into your anger and walk away. Now start to look at the other person with the same reasons as what you have. They have a subconscious. they have those nerves that get hit too. And when you really think about it, when you're starting to get into that and you're starting to win, both your egos are going. Same situation on both sides. How do you win anything? There is no win. You're both hurting now. And you're both doing damage to that past. Good morning. You're both doing damage to that past in the fact that it's a subconscious thing that you are not cluing into. So when one of you can pause, clue into that anger, breathe, and move away. I did it this week. I was going up into that rage area. And yeah, it took some effort. I'm not gonna lie. It took big effort. It took me breathing. You could see me doing it. It wasn't anything that I was kind of just secret about. I just went into breathing. I went into calming myself down. I went into closing my eyes and starting to tune in to calm that area of that, where it's going. Telling myself it's got nothing to do with what the situation is. Also asking myself, why am I going there? What is it that it's hitting? What's going on here? What nerves are being touched? What things can I work on in my own therapy? Areas that may not be healed. It's a way better thing to surrender and walk away and move away from something like that than to keep that argument going and you're both getting into some really deep shit. Because how long does that last? It's not like it all calms down and it's gone within an hour, right? We hold on to that anger and that can last, and then we get silent treatments and all that kind of shit. None of that shit is any good. None of that shit is any good. It just causes more and more issues and more anger and more hostility towards each other. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Look at the other person that you're hurting, and that person's hurting you. And you love each other. You care about each other. Even when it's with friends, walk away. Walk away. And if you have made that mistake of starting an argument because of something got hit, or some nerve, or something got said, that other person might not even know they did it. But all of a sudden you go exploding because you're not controlling. You're not working on the anger. You're not working on the wires. And if you have done that, then know to own up. Be honest. Hold your hand up and apologise. Don't hold on to it, because then that's the ego again, trying to protect. Oh, shameful. Oh, I don't like that, does it? But you know what? You're a better person by holding your hand up and being honest and apologising. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Try to stay in tune with yourself. Breathe. Come and see me on Sunday, 11 a.m. and go and hit that subscribe for me, because I tell you what, if you've watched this far, hit that subscribe, because I'm obviously saying something that's tuning into you. Pass it around, because it gets that message out there to those people that could do with hearing this. This could get to someone right now that has those anger issues and is not sure how to do something about it. This lands in front of them, could be helping them out. So pass me around, please. Come and join the community. Come and help us grow. It's a good community and we all love each other in there. And just come, and you don't even have to comment if you don't want to. Just join, just sit on the side, do the breath work and just listen. Have a great weekend. Loving each and every one of you. Thank you for the support as always. And always, thank you for watching. Love you. Namaste. And stay that course. Namaste.